Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. Today I wanted to share with you my story, so why I became vegan, how I became vegan. I wanted to do this because I feel it's really important and helpful for people out there who aren't vegan yet to hear the perspective of someone who has changed and to understand what led them to change and why they felt it was so important. And I hope with that comes insight into them wanting to change themselves. And I really want to encourage other people who are vegan to also share their story, because I feel in doing so we can really help the world change. So for me, I became vegan over 5 years ago, February 2015. For me, it was an overnight decision. Well, not even overnight, it was on the spot decision for me. There's many different ways people become vegan. Sometimes it's very gradual. For me, I feel very lucky that the first thing that I ever was lucky enough to watch is a university lecture by an animal rights activist called Gary Rofsky. This was an hour and a half lecture, so it goes into lots of areas, really concise, really incredible talk. Like I say, for me it was an on the spot decision. So the day before, and for my whole life before that, I was eating meat, dairy, eggs, contributing to a whole amount of suffering and killing, unnecessary killing and suffering to innocent beings. And then I was also wearing the skins of these individuals, wool and leather, and I was going to zoos and aquariums, so I was also paying for them to entertain us at the expense of their freedom and ultimately their lives, to be in prison their whole life and to be money-making machines. And ultimately that is what all of these industries are doing, making a profit off these innocent beings that have done nothing wrong to us. I was contributing in every way to all of this cruelty, all of this abuse. I woke up one morning and I was lucky enough to be on Facebook when someone had shared the Gary Rofsky speech. And the speech is called "The Best Speech You'll Ever Hear." I think that's what it's called. But I'll put in a link in the description so you can watch it for yourself. I was sat there in bed one morning and I came across it on my Facebook feed and I started watching it, and 5, 10, 15 minutes in, I already knew that I was vegan, and I felt like I always was vegan. It's a strange thing. Of course, I wasn't, because to be vegan is a philosophy, but it's also a way of life. So it's not veganism if it's not practiced. So if we don't align our morals, how we feel, with our actions. I feel like I was just going with the flow of society that said animals are here to be used, end of story. I kind of never questioned it. I just feel like I was brainwashed this whole time. I never gave it much thought as to whether this is right or wrong, to be using animals. All it took was this animal rights activist to say, and to ask questions really, and to also to share the fact that the biggest mass murder of innocent beings to ever happen on this earth is to animals. If they bleed, and if they have a heart, and if they have lungs, and if they have families, and if they can see and they can hear, and they can have all of these traits that are similar to us, why do we not grant them also the fact that they can think and feel? It feels quite obvious when you think about it that way, but for anyone who also looks after animals, they'll be the first to tell you that of course they're thinking and feeling individuals, they're sentient. And there's so much science out there to back this up. Since I was born, I was told that animals have their place and this is their place to be used. And it just took someone to reconnect me with what I already knew to be true, that animals think and feel, and with that logic that they have an experience of life and they suffer, and even if they don't suffer and they're used and they're killed, it's all without consent. They can't consent to any of this. And when you use someone without consent, it's always abuse. It just took someone to remind me that these beings are no different in the ways that matter to us. My empathy drove me to say, well, if this was me in that situation, if this was a human in this situation, I would in no way support any abuse, any cruelty, any killing. Because they're a different species, like I say, we're told that they're here for us to eat, to wear, to test on, to use for entertainment. But we're just told that, and where's the justification that this is the right thing to do? To say it's just. And I've thought about it a lot, and there isn't one. And what started me along this path of thinking and really questioning is having someone say these things to me and to ask me these questions. So that's how I started my journey, my vegan journey, with that lecture by Gary Yourofsky. You know, I'm so grateful for animal rights activists out there who go out and share this message as well. Social media, what an amazing platform to be sharing and to be doing activism on. It's just another way to share with people, to connect with people, and to educate and to inspire. If you want to know anything else, please do drop me a message. Let me know your stories and let me know what content you want to hear in the future and want to see. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.